Hello everyone, today we're going to be installing a deadbolt on this steel door. What we have is a steel door that's insulated, so we've got a layer of steel, wood, and then another layer of steel to go through. If this is intimidating to anyone, don't let it be. This is a pretty easy job, and there are tools readily available to help the average homeowner get through this project. And that's what I really try to preach on this channel is if you start with the right tools, you can do the work yourself and not have to pay someone else to do it for you. Luckily, YouTube University exists as well, so that resource is there for you too. And starting with the right tools. The right tool in this case is the Irwin Door Lock Installation Kit. So you can see it works with metal and wood doors. We've got a nice jig to drill our deadbolt, as well as optional depths here. I'll talk about that later. Also has the template for the mortise and tenon joint, as well as this nice plate, which is awesome, by the way. This router bit fits in a drill, and you simply take it around these edges right here, and then we'll just have to knock that wood out. So that is going to be super helpful. First things first, we need to remove our existing door handle in order to take some measurements from the center of this handle up to where we need to put our deadbolt. Now we'll remove the bolt plate. If this doesn't come out for you, stick something in here, there'll be a little hole. Just kind of work it out, just like that. There we go. Now the first thing we need to do is determine our backset. That is which depth we are going to mount this jig. So what we need to do is find dead center of this hole and determine what that is. So take your tape measure, straight edge, whatever you have, and just place it against your door here. Make sure it's right on the edge. And we'll just move over. We got 2 inches and looks like 1, 2, 3/8. Dead center, 2 inches, 3/8. The next step is determining our deadbolt height. So what you're gonna wanna do is whatever deadbolt you bought, check the instructions and see if they give a recommendation for how high to make it from the center of your door handle here to the deadbolt. This is definitely an important step, and you don't want to skip it, because if you make this too low, obviously you have interference problems. So in my particular case, this deadbolt called for 5.5 inches from the center. So we'll just kind of eyeball it here. That'll be perfectly fine. We've got about 5.5 right there. So here's where we'll make our mark, right there. All right, now we're just gonna mount the jig to the door, making sure our mark is dead center of the hole here. Remember, we have our back set at 2 3/8 inches, so we don't need to worry about that. We just pretty much need to center up our mark, make sure it's good. And then we'll use the existing screws that we took out before, and we'll use those to secure the jig. All right, next step is to simply attach this drill bit to the bore. It just screws in, and then we'll just use this to go ahead and drill through our door. So, without further ado, here we go. There we go. Took some doing, but that worked pretty well. And now we'll put our 1 inch, we'll fix that, just like this, and do the same thing right there. There we go, all done. We can take the jig off. Next step is to install the router bit guide, and what we're gonna do is just use the mounting holes we used for the jig and use these 2 tabs right here, these pins, and we'll just line those up. Make sure the guide is firm against the door here, just like that. That's it. Pull that off. And there we go. And now we just need to chisel these pieces out. Now it's time to notch out this area for the bolt plate, and we're just going to be using a 1-inch chisel, and you can find these at Harbor Freight for the great price of $6 or so. Once you've got the bolt plate all notched out, let's go ahead and test fit and just make sure it fits. Looks like we're good here. And that's it, everybody. Really not too hard at all. If you have the right tools and you take your time, you can do this job at home yourself. On the difficulty scale, I give this maybe a 1 out of 3. It's something that you can absolutely tackle yourself. Honestly, the hardest part was detaching the drill bit from the auger bit, and you know, to get that off, so it's doable. Anyway, I've got another video detailing how to install the actual deadbolt onto the door, so I'm not going to cover that, but I will link it at the end of this video, as well as installing the strike plate in the door jamb here too. So I'll link that one as well. And if this video helped you, please help me hit like and subscribe. It goes a long way in making the channel successful. I appreciate it. Have a great day.